Shh. Listen. Do you hear that? That low, distant rumble, growing closer. It's midnight, and the train is coming for someone tonight. Close your eyes with me now. Relax into the darkness. Let my voice guide you onto the platform, where the fog is thick, and the air is cold, biting at your skin. This is a true whisper from the shadows. A story they try to bury, about the midnight train, and the passenger, who simply vanished. It happened on a night much like this one. Rainy, endless, the kind where the world feels forgotten. Our story begins with Elias, a man in his late 30s, ordinary in every way. He worked a dead-end job in a small coastal town called Blackwood Bay, filing papers, counting hours until he could escape to his tiny apartment. Elias wasn't unhappy exactly, just empty. His wife had left years ago, taking their daughter with her. He hadn't fought it. Some nights, he'd sit by the window, watching the trains pass in the distance, lights flickering like lost stars. One evening, after a particularly long shift, Elias missed his usual train home. The next one wasn't for hours. So he wandered the station, the old Blackwood Station, built in the 1920s, with its cracked tiles and flickering fluorescent lights. The platform was deserted. Only the echo of dripping water from a leaky roof and the occasional rumble of freight trains far away. He sat on a bench, scrolling mindlessly on his phone, when he noticed her, a woman, standing alone at the far end of the platform. She wore a long, dark coat, hood up, face hidden in shadow. In her hand, an old-fashioned suitcase, leather worn like something from another era. Elias glanced up, then back down. But something drew his eyes again. She hadn't moved, just stood there, staring down the tracks. The clock struck midnight. A chill ran through him, though the air was still. Then, he heard it, a low whistle, faint at first, then growing. Not the sharp, modern horn of the commuter trains, but something older, deeper, mournful. The train slowed, screeched to a halt. It wasn't on any schedule, Elias knew. The cars were antique, painted black, with gold lettering faded to ghosts. Windows tinted, or perhaps curtained from inside. Doors hissed open, but no conductor appeared. The woman picked up her suitcase and boarded without a word. Elias, for reasons he couldn't explain, felt pulled. His usual train wasn't coming. This one, it felt inviting. Warm light spilled from the open door. He stood, hesitated, then stepped aboard. The door closed behind him with a soft, final click. Inside, it was nothing like the modern trains. Plush red seats, wood paneling, dim lanterns swaying gently. The air smelled of old leather and something faintly metallic, like rain on iron. Only a handful of passengers. An elderly man in a suit, reading a newspaper dated 1953, a young couple, holding hands, but staring straight ahead, unmoving, and in the corner, a child, alone, clutching a teddy bear, eyes wide, unblinking. Elias chose a seat near the window. The train lurched forward, smoothly, silently. No announcements, no stops listed. He tried to relax, told himself it was just a late-night service, some heritage line or something. But as the town lights faded behind, an endless darkness swallowed the view. Unease crept in. The woman from the platform. She sat across the aisle now, her hood down, pale face, beautiful, but wrong. Eyes too dark, skin too smooth, like porcelain. She smiled at him, a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Where is this train going? Elias whispered to no one in particular. No one answered. Minutes turned to hours, or so it felt. Elias checked his phone. No signal. Battery draining unnaturally fast. He stood, walked to the end of the car, tried the door to the next one, locked, back to his seat. The elderly man folded his newspaper, slowly, deliberately, looked at Elias. "You're new," the man said, voice dry, like rustling leaves. Elias froze. What do you mean?" The man smiled faintly. "Most of us have been here a while." The child in the corner giggled softly, but it echoed, "Wrong." Elias's heart pounded. He rushed to the window, but outside, nothing. No tracks visible. No stars. Just void. Panic rising. He banged on the window. No response. The woman stood now, approached him, her suitcase open on the seat. Inside, not clothes, photographs, old black and white photos of people on this very train. She picked one up, held it to him. It was him, Elias, sitting in his seat, eyes wide with fear. But he hadn't taken any photo. "How?" he stammered. She whispered, voice like silk over glass. "Welcome aboard the Midnight Express. We don't stop until you're ready." "Ready for what?" Elias backed away, heart thundering. The woman returned to her seat. As if nothing happened. He tried the emergency cord, pulled it hard. Nothing. No alarm. No stop. The train sped on, faster now. The rhythmic clack, clack, clack. Hypnotic, lulling. He sat, sweating, mind racing. This couldn't be real. A dream? A prank? Hours passed, or minutes. Time blurred. The child stood, walked toward him, held out the teddy bear. "Play?" the child whispered, voice echoing from far away. Elias shook his head. The child's smile faded. Eyes blackened. "You have to stay forever." Elias bolted, ran through the car, banging on windows, screaming for help. No one outside. No world. He reached the end. A door marked conductor. Pushed it open. Inside, a small compartment. A figure in uniform. Back turned. Old-fashioned cap. "Help me," Elias gasped. "Let me off." The figure turned slowly. No face, just smooth skin, where features should be. It held a ticket punch. Clicked it once, twice. Then, spoke, voice from everywhere and nowhere. "All aboard, forever." Elias screamed, ran back. The passengers, all watching now, smiling. The woman held another photo. This one, Elias, standing in the conductor's room, screaming. He collapsed into his seat. The train whistled, long, mournful, and then he understood. This wasn't a train to somewhere. It was the train of the lost. Those who boarded at midnight, when despair called, vanished from the world, trapped in eternal ride. Elias looked out the window again, saw, faintly, the platform, Blackwood Station, the train slowing, doors opening, a new figure on the platform, lonely, waiting. The woman stood, walked to the door, ready to greet the next soul. The elderly man unfolded his newspaper again. The child returned to staring. The cycle, beginning again. Elias tried one last time to stand, to run, to scream. But his body felt heavy, as though the seat had claimed him. His skin grew colder. His reflection in the window, paler. The warmth he once felt when boarding was gone. He was becoming like them. Days, weeks, years, time no longer mattered. The train looped through the void, collecting the broken, the lonely, the ones who waited too long in the rain. Elias stopped fighting. The despair that had pulled him aboard now filled him completely. He became still, silent, passenger. One night, though all nights were the same, the train slowed once more at Blackwood Station. A young woman stood on the platform, soaked from rain, eyes empty after a fight with the world. She looked up as the doors opened. Warm light spilled out, and there, in the aisle, stood Elias, pale, unmoving, smiling faintly. He did not speak. He did not need to. She hesitated, then stepped aboard. The doors closed with a soft, final click. The midnight express pulled away into the fog, carrying one more vanished soul into eternity. And somewhere, in the distance, you might hear it still, that low whistle, calling, waiting for the next passenger who lingers too long at midnight. Now, relax deeper, let the sound of the train fade, and sleep, knowing some doors, once opened, never truly close. Good night.